The crows with the red eyes. Wolf Spain 54. Summary. As he is building, Phil notices that the numbers of his crows have increased, and a majority of the new crows have red eyes and don't seem to be made of actual feathers but black smoke. The crows with red eyes. He first noticed the change when he was building the memorial statue. The number of crows seemed to have increased, but the new crows were different. The new crows that he noticed had red eyes, and their feather seemed to resemble wispy black smoke than actual feathers. Yet when he petted one, the blackness seemed to mimic the feel of feathers. The new crows weren't his crows, yet they came and watched him with his own usual murder. They mingled well, and his crows seemed to welcome the red-eyed crows. He caught a few snuggling up to some. Maybe he focused on the phenomenon of the red-eyed crows, because it was something to keep his mind busy as he worked. Kept his mind occupied so that he wasn't overcome with deep emotion. The loss of his friend had hit hard, and if he thought about it too long he wouldn't be able to find the will to even finish. So the red-eyed crows were a good distraction. Besides their eyes and smoky blackness of the birds, their behavior was totally different than his crows. While his crows were loud and rowdy, they were also friendly and not aggressive. He found out when the first zombie came too close. Phil hadn't even been able to pull a weapon on the monster, before the red-eyed crows had all screeched and had taken to sky, seeming to come together as one to create one massive black smoke cloud, dotted with red eyes, and diving into the zombie. A feeling of dread seemed to fill the air as they did. 1,000 screams and whispers within their swarm, that sent familiar shivers down his spine. His own crows letting out warning calls, something they did when they felt Phil needed to be warned on oncoming danger. The red-eyed crows swarmed the zombie, their screeches like a death call. And when they departed, there was no zombie left for Phil to even worry about. The zombie had been massacred and dismembered. Phil looked upon the remains astonished, before glancing at the crows that surrounded his eyes, taking in the red-eyed crows that had retreated back to being passive with his own crows. The red-eyed crows not even stained with blood, and those that were, Phil watched as that blood seeped into the crow's smoky black feathers. He had never seen crows act like that before. Stopping his work on the memorial, Phil knelt down and held a hand out for one of the red-eyed crows to come and let him hold them. When one did, he examined the creature. It looked back just as interested, and still passive. He looked the crow he was holding in the eye. There were something sad within it, red eyes, something familiar too. "Hey mate," he greeted. The crow he held nodded its head, a soft whispering reaching his ears. He held the red-eyed crow a little longer before letting it go and mix back in with the horde of crows that surrounded him. Going back to work, but this time paying attention to the red-eyed crows a little more. He was hearing whispers. Many sad, and crying, and whispers of denial. It was when he finished the memorial did the red-eyed crows, as one, take to the sky once again, merging together as one again and swarmed around Phil. "It's perfect. Thank you. Technoblade never dies. Beautiful. Blood for the blood god one more time. Good game everybody. Thank you Phil saw Minecraft." The red-eyed crows. The voices whispered. Flying around the statue, in memory of Technoblade, a few vanishing, while a few stayed. Taking their place among his crows. A part of Technoblade was now among his own crows. His friend's legacy was going to live on. Technoblade never dies after all. The end. Rest in peace and power, Technoblade. May your legacy live on. Please donate to curesarcoma.org, link in the description below.